Before a devastating fire ripped through this detention center in Yemen's capital last week, the Ethiopians being held there confronted their guards to demand better living conditions. That's when, survivors say, Houthi security forces locked them in a hangar and told them to say their final prayers before firing something at them.
He fired a projectile at us through the hole, and the fire caught onto the piles of pillows we were sleeping on. The room filled up with smoke, and we all started to scream. As we cried for help, some of us started to faint and fall to the ground.
I saw my friends burning to death. I didn't receive any help after that nightmare.
Dozens of people were killed in the blaze after it tore through a hangar with 350 people inside, mostly migrants from the Horn of Africa. The United Nations is calling for an independent investigation into the cause of the fire. Tens of thousands of migrants pass through Yemen each year, attempting to reach wealthy Gulf countries in order to provide for their families back home. They're exposed to kidnapping, torture, and abuse while navigating a deadly conflict. Survivors of the fire accuse the Houthis of using them to feed the war effort.
When we told them we were going on a hunger strike, they said they'd force feed us and send us to fight on the front. We said we would not fight because this isn't our country. We're refugees. Our country is facing a bigger war than the one here. We couldn't live in our own country, so we escaped here.
The International Organization for Migration has demanded the release of thousands of migrants being held at Houthi-run facilities.
These young people are faced and sold out unrealistic versions of the journey by smugglers and traffickers. And they are not telling them the truth of the true, real, and difficulties of that journey.
One group, at least, was given a way out. 150 Ethiopians were evacuated on Tuesday on the first repatriation flight since the pandemic began. Andrew Chappelle, Al Jazeera.